Love where you live and play with Lindsay Management. Affordable apartments and golf memberships at 9 and 18-hole courses. Buying or selling? Trust Lindsay and Associates. Serving the community for over 50 years. Lindsay, #1 in apartments, golf, and real estate.
Want to run faster, jump higher, move with more power? The Sports Recovery and Development Program at Bridges Therapy Group builds speed, strength, agility, and endurance while correcting movement issues that can cause injury. Give your athlete the edge. Schedule an assessment today at srdathlete.com. We are breaking down the high school games to keep an eye on this Friday night, and we introduce you to this week's Performance Athlete of the Week. It is Friday, September 5th, and this is Varsity Vibe Today. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy game day, everyone. Good to be with you again on Varsity Vibe Today. I am your host, Alyssa Orange. He is Brey Cook, business development for Varsity Vibe. We're excited to talk about 5 games that we're watching here on this Friday. So let's get to it. The Lewis Automotive opening drive, looking to upgrade your vehicle. It is the trade-in, trade-out event at Lewis Automotive. Get double the factory warranty, all backed by the Lewis Guarantee, happening now in Fayetteville, Springdale, and Farmington. And Brey, speaking of Farmington, that is where both of us are going to be tonight. The Harbor Farmington game, going to be a fun one there for the Cardinals and the Wildcats. I'm going to be down on the sidelines. You're up in the booth for Harbor. But when you look at this matchup, what excites you the most?
Well, I was able to watch Harbor last week with an impressive, I'd say, first half of football. They played really well with Broken Arrow, and they were doing some things, flying around with the football. One of the things we noticed was the defense, how all 11 of them were just attacking the ball carrier all night. And it really impacted the game against a very talented Broken Arrow team. So what I'm excited to see is the step that Harbor takes, not just defensively, but as a whole team, every unit, offense, defense, special teams, flying around to the ball, but cleaning up some of those little mistakes that you make in that week 0 game, and taking a huge step forward against a very talented Farmington football team. Are you familiar with Tim Tebow's The Promise in 2008?
Sure.
Yeah. So Tim Tebow, they lose to Ole Miss. They needed a kick in their rear, to get them to that next level. And I think Harbor might be that for Farmington this year. Farmington's good, but they could use a little kick in their rear earlier in the season to get them rolling to start that state championship run.
We had Aiden Lester, the quarterback for Farmington, on the show earlier this week, and he's got a lot of confidence in his guys. But again, they won a 43-42 game last week against Edmond North, so they've got some things that they have to clean up too. So it's going to be a really fun matchup between those two. Let's keep going. So Bentonville is going to host Conway, and that's another really interesting matchup. The way that we saw Bentonville go out, beat Tulsa Union last week, and now they've got Conway coming in.
Yeah, Walmart meets the roundabout. And honestly, these are two very, very impressive teams. You're looking at the scores from last year, and Conway handles Bentonville in the regular season. They whooped them, and they got after them pretty good early in the season. They come back in the playoffs, Bentonville wins by 2. And so these are 2 juggernauts that, again, match up early in the preseason or the non-conference season. And is Bentonville going to be able to hang this early in the season, or did they learn from last year and to be able to take that step forward?
Should be a fun one. Okay, let's continue. Fayetteville hosting Broken Arrow now. And so the Fayetteville Bulldogs really put it on Cabot last week. Hank Hendricks was our athlete of the week this past week. They look like they have things rolling over there right now, but it's early. They've only played a game. What do you think they do against Broken Arrow?
I mean, I was at Fayetteville's practice on Wednesday, and just looking at some of those kids, the way they approach every part of practice, not just their physical, just intensity, but the way that they were focused and the mental part that comes with being in that successful of a program. Those kids are bought into what they're doing, and they're good at it. So for me, I got to watch Broken Arrow last week. Very talented team, and a couple kids who are going to have some offers to go play some big-time football later in life. I just don't know how they hold up against that talented and that focused of a Fayetteville Bulldog football team.
It's also, too, when you're Broken Arrow, when you look at it, 2 weeks now to start the football season. You're driving over to Northwest Arkansas to play a football game. You've yet to play a home game. So it's interesting, more of a mental thing with them. I'm curious to see how they respond when they get to Fayetteville later tonight. All right. So Bentonville West is going to go down to Cabot. And I think we talked a little bit about this, you and I, off air, but Bentonville West just really impressive last week against Greenwood, despite the fact that they lost that game. And they might be a team to truly think about when you look at maybe who could contend later on down once the season gets going.
No, there's no doubt. And we mentioned earlier on a couple of these episodes how big of steps Bentonville West has taken this offseason. And I think you saw that last Friday night against a very impressive Greenwood football team. And a tough loss for Bentonville West. And I think they're going to be a little fired up coming into Friday night, ready to get a little bit of vengeance. And then on the flip side, you got Cabot, who's well coached, traditionally very, very talented football team, who just got they lined up against Fayetteville and didn't turn out so great for the Panthers. So which one of these teams is going to bounce back quicker? Again, you talked about the steps that you take from that week 0 to week 1 are the biggest gains that you'll make all football season. And so which one of them is going to be able to take that next step and capitalize on Friday night?
I will have to say I'm a very early fan of quarterback Trey Thompson for Bentonville West. So I'm excited to continue to see what he does and how he's able to lead this team. Speaking of Greenwood, we're going to talk about their game coming up after this. Stick around.
If you're an athlete that wants to improve your game, maybe improve your 40, jump higher, have better agility, Bridges Therapy Group's Sport Recovery and Development Program can help. They've been helping student athletes reach their highest potential for quite a while now. They've got a team that includes physical therapists, athletic trainers, personal trainers, and occupational therapists. And together, they design individual plans to build speed, explosive power, agility, strength, and endurance. Whether your athlete's returning from rehab or working for a competitive edge, SRD provides the training and guidance to help them succeed. Schedule your athlete's assessment today at srdathlete.com.
QuickTurf is the go-to team for building championship-level sports facilities for public schools, private schools, and the entire school district. They also install beautiful backyard putting greens for homeowners. Known for lifelike, eco-friendly turf, QuickTurf handles everything from design and lighting to drainage and final landscaping. Their all-in-one approach delivers high-performance surfaces for athletes and low-maintenance greens that last for years. With preventative maintenance programs, they keep every field and green looking game day ready. Schedule a free consultation today at quickturf.com. That's QIKturf.com.
Matt Lewis with Lewis Automotive Group, excited to announce our trade-in, trade-up event. During this event, you get thousands extra for your trade value. Plus, it's all backed by the Lewis Guarantee. Double the factory warranty. That's a 10-year, 120,000-mile powertrain. Plus, you get 1 year worth of maintenance on us. This event's only going on at Lewis Automotive Group and is at all of our locations in Fayetteville, Springdale, and Farmington.
Could a little extra support help your child shine even brighter? Bridges Therapy Group empowers kids to live their best life with expert pediatric therapy services tailored to their needs. Their team offers occupational therapy, speech therapy, and physical therapy, guiding families from the first evaluation to every milestone along the way. Give your child the tools to succeed and shine. Visit btgpeds.com to learn more and schedule your appointment today. That's btgpeds.com.
Love where you live and play with Lindsay Management. Enjoy affordable apartments with community amenities like fitness centers and resort-style pools at select locations. Golf memberships are also available at beautiful 9 and 18-hole courses. Buying or selling a home, commercial, or investment property? Trust Lindsay and Associates, serving the community and bringing great neighbors together for over 50 years. Lindsay, #1 in apartments, golf, and real estate.
Welcome back. We've got more football to talk about. We talked about Greenwood before the break, Brey, and their game against Bentonville West. But now they play Northside, and Northside's coming off that 27-7 loss to Southside to open up the season. And when you look at this Greenwood team that we're so used to them being so dominant, but we've also seen the fact that they're not maybe the best, most talented Greenwood team that they've had over the years. Defensively, they've got a lot to work on. We know offensively what they can do with Kane Archer. So when you head into this game against Northside trying to bounce back after that loss, how do you think this one plays out?
I know Greenwood won the football game last Friday night, but I'm sure Coach Young had some coaching points. And when it comes down to that close of a game there at the end, you definitely have a lot to take away and a lot of corrections to make. So I know they won, but I'm assuming in those film meetings, they probably felt like they lost. And so it's going to be, again, which one of these two teams can take that step forward. And you look at Northside, who, like you said, loses to a rival, crosstown rival, that week 0. How do you respond from that emotional intensity of playing the crosstown rival and getting beat up a little bit? So to me, both these teams are coming into this game, one with an actual loss, one feeling like they lost. But Greenwood's on a winning streak, and they haven't lost a game in a very long time. I believe it's 65 consecutive home games, which is absurd. So good luck to the Grizzlies. It's going to be a tough one to pull a win out of Greenwood tonight.
I love that you make that point, because I was going to ask you, when you look at this Greenwood team and really the target that they have on their back, and they've had it for a while, but one of the things that Kane Archer said was a goal for him as a senior was to go 39-0, which means he would not have lost a high school football game his entire career, which is mind-blowing to think about. But that also is a massive target on your back. And that almost broke week 1. And every team is going to come and try to break that streak every single week.
That's absurd. That's an absurd stat. And you look at the fact that their last home loss was in 2014. I was in college in 2014. That was like 30 years ago, 50 pounds ago. That's unbelievable to have that many wins. They're just on a streak. So.
Despite maybe some things that they have to clean up, they're still a really, really tough team to beat. So that'll be a fun one. Is there any other games you're looking around in the area to keep an eye on?
I think Shiloh hosts a Little Rock Christian team that's going to be a great matchup. Those are two very talented teams. Battle of the Christians there in Springdale. I think that that's going to be one to keep an eye on. I know we've got some filmers going to that one, get some highlights, because there will be plenty.
Well, I'm excited. It's another Friday night of football, and you got to love it. Of course, if you want to follow along on our social media, we will have highlights, photos, videos, all that fun stuff for you to keep up with all the action around the area on Varsity Vibe. Follow us on social, and of course, make sure to like our podcast on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Brey, thanks so much. We'll catch up next week.
Thank you.
Making consistent progress is an important part of every young athlete's journey. Every week, we're highlighting those who have put in the work to get better. And this week, our Performance Athlete of the Week is Farmington Junior Emmy Rykoff. Despite overcoming a medical setback that interrupted her workouts, Emmy came back stronger. She cut off 0.16 seconds off her 20-yard sprint, trimmed 0.9 of a second off of her pro agility, and gained 1.12 inches on her broad jump, along with 2 more inches on her vertical. Rykoff is committed to North Alabama to play Division I volleyball. To learn more about the program, visit srdathlete.com. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Varsity Vibe today. If you haven't already, subscribe to our newsletter. Head to varsityvibearkansas.com. You'll get that newsletter in your inbox twice a week. A special shout out to our sponsors, Lindsay, Lewis Automotive, Bridges Therapy Group, and Quick Turf. Have a great weekend, everybody.